A little more physical effort behind both sides of the breath. Spend more time with your inhale and your exhale. And this is really the fastest and most, let's say, the easiest way to take ourselves off of autopilot in any situation, by the way. That's why when we get into scrapes, we hear, just take a deep breath, right? Breathing and changing the rhythm of your breath, actively breathing, consciously breathing, is a perfect way to pattern interrupt and can be used off of the mat even more profoundly, I think, than on the mat sometimes. Let's bring the arms down alongside your torso. Open your eyes. Take a few more breaths here, but turn the palms forward. Turn your thumbs toward either side of the room so that we're broadening across the shoulders. And we're doing this without arching our back, right? We're just moving the arm bones through the shoulder. Good. And then as the thumbs point out, draw the shoulders down. So think about your fingertips reaching toward the earth, the crown of your head drawing up toward the sky. Feel a nice stretch on your neck here and the tops of your shoulders. Breathe all the way up into the fronts of the shoulders. Still breathing all the way down into the belly, of course. Exhale strongly, drawing navel in, knitting the sides of your torso to midline. 2 more breaths like that. Keep the fingertips drawing down, the thumbs pointing out. See if you can point the thumbs even further out as you rotate your arm bone. And on your next exhalation, if you haven't already, go ahead and open your eyes, root down through your feet. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, bring your hands down to your thighs. Round your back, engage your abdominals. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Engage the abs, bring the chin into the soft part of the throat. One more time, take your in-breath. Exhale, round the back, roll all the way up, sweep the arms overhead and take an inhale. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart center. Reach up, and this time as you exhale, bend your knees, dive forward, place your ribs on your thighs, and then reach the arms up as the crown draws down. Inhale into an Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, but the knees are bent quite a bit. Ribs are going to come to the thighs. Inhale, reach up, stay seated, keep those knees bent. Exhale, dive forward and reach your arms up as the crown draws down. One more time, take an inhale. And exhale, draw belly button in as the ribs come down. Bring your hands to your thighs now and roll up, still holding your out breath here. When you're ready to inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And with a long, strong exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Wonderful. Take an inhale, and this time we're going to move into our swan dive. Exhale, dive forward. Pull your weight forward. Imagine you're on a diving block, right, about to dive into a pool. That diving block is at a little bit of a diagonal to propel you forward. Inhale to extend the spine. Exhale, draw the crown back down towards your toes. Root down, rise up, reversing the dive. Push down through your heels and draw the sit bones down toward the heels as your arms rise on the inhale. And then right away, swan dive forward again, propelling your weight forward for as long as you can until you're finally bringing the ribs in even closer to the thighs. Inhale, extend your spine by breathing your torso forward. Exhale, fold the crown towards your toes. Engage Uddiyana Bandha, so we're not inhaling yet. We're going to inhale when the arms start to rise and when we're ready to really root down through the feet. And last time, exhale into that swan dive. Inhale into your extended spine. Exhale, fold. Engage your abs, draw navel in, lift back up with that abdominal engagement. Reach up and take your in-breath. And this time, exhale, hands to the heart. Good. We're going to move on now to A series. Reach up. Exhale, dive. Quads are strong. Hold it all the way in. Inhale, extend, breathe your torso forward, jump back or walk back to a high plank position, high push-up pose. Remain in high plank pose and take your exhale. Inhale, right leg comes up. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, right knee comes into forehead. Right leg back again on the in-breath. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. And now shoot your right leg up and back into a three-legged down dog. Root down to the palms of your hands. Root down with the left heel. I forgot that I was on the slippery side of the sticky mat, so I needed to change that. Take a stronger exhale here and dive just a little bit deeper, meaning that your ribs are going to move closer to your left thigh as your right leg extends higher. And then release your right foot down next to your left foot. Deep breath in here. Exhale to empty out. Once you're empty, jump forward or walk forward. Inhale when you land. Exhale, crown towards your toes. Feet are about sit bone distance apart. Reach out, rise up using your core. Now go ahead and inhale. Draw the heels down, draw the sit bones down. Reach back into a little back bend if you'd like. And exhale, hands to heart center. Again, reaching up and opening up. Exhale, dive. Quads are strong. Pull it. Again, think about being on that diving block. Propel your whole body forward as you dive down. Inhale, extend all the way out through your neck. Plant your palms, jump back or walk back to a plank, hold, and exhale. Inhale, the left leg comes up. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Left leg back, inhale. Exhale, forehead to knee, knee to forehead. Left leg back, and then in to touch the right elbow. Shoot your left leg up to the sky. And now take that three-legged down dog once again. Root up through the pads of your left toes, root down through your right heel. Push the floor away with your palms. Push down to move out of the wrists, the elbows, and the shoulders. Use the strength of your breath, both the inhale side to create that buoyancy and lightness, and the exhale side to create stability and support. Right? Use your breath to support this pose. Take one final inhale, and exhale, left leg down. Once you land, take your in-breath. Strong, long exhalation. As you empty out, jump forward, take your in-breath when you land. Exhale, crown towards your toes. Root down, hold Uddiyana Bandha, rise up. Once the arms sweep overhead, take the in-breath. Little back bend here if you'd like. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again, arms rising. Lengthen the sides of your torso. Exhale, dive. Quads are strong. Keep the body lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. So we're not just dropping to the floor. We're reaching forward before we come down. Inhale, extend. Plant your palms, jump back. Stay here, exhale. Inhale, bring the left arm and right leg off the floor for teeter-totter. Make sure you're still breathing. Take one more inhale, reaching in two directions. Exhale, left hand down. Step your right leg back behind your left leg, arch away from the floor. Lifting your right arm up and opening to the right for Vashisthasana. Feel free here as well to stack your legs if you want to go a little further with it. Or bring your left knee to the floor and root down through the right leg instead if you want to go a little less intense today. The same muscle groups are going to be supporting us no matter what, okay? So make sure that this left side body is working. You're up all the way up out of your left shoulder. Take another inhale in Vashisthasana, arching away. Circle your right arm all the way through the shoulder and then bring the right hand down for the exhale. Take an inhale here. Exhale to Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Bring your left hand, the one that you were just balanced on, to the outside of your right shin for a twisting down dog. And if this is too much or if it feels too precarious, bring your left hand down underneath your sternum instead, and you can just root down with the left fingertips to lift you out of the shoulder, okay? So it feels like you can't get out of the right shoulder. Do that instead. Just bring the left hand underneath your sternum. Now we're bringing out from lower belly, and we're tucking the left side of the lower back underneath us to start the twist. In other words, we're not leading with our neck. Take a final exhale here to twist and go further. Really finding just that little extra range of motion. Bring your left hand to the floor, drop to both forearms, and we will take a dolphin now, dolphin pose. Quadriceps are strong. Push down with the belly of the forearms. Draw up with the lower abdominals, making sure that you take the time to fully engage before you take your next inhale. Push the floor away with the forearms for sure instead of sinking into the shoulders. If you feel like you can't get out of the shoulders, please come to your knees, take a break, and then come back to it. One final exhale in dolphin. Inhale back up onto your palms for a downward facing dog. Once you finish your exhale here, you're going to engage Uddiyana Bandha, jump forward or walk forward. Inhale to land and extend. Exhale, fold and draw the crown toward your toes. We're going to do one more like that so we can get to the other side. Reach out, reverse your dive, sweep the arms overhead, take your inhale and maybe a little back bend. Exhale, hands to the heart, navel to spine. One more A series. Reach up. Exhale, dive. Keep connected to your breath. Stay connected to that part of our physiology, right? That allows us, it's like this little mechanism, we can turn it on whenever we want to just wake ourselves up. Inhale, extend, jump back to your push-up or walk back. When you get there, hold there and take the exhale. Inhale, bring your right arm and left leg up, teeter-totter. As you hold here, remember that it's better really to allow yourself to move a bit, because it really does, I mean, as far as functional strength work goes, our body being able to just negotiate this, right, this bringing us back to center is a good skill to promote, right? Let's go ahead and bring the right hand down, step the left foot back behind the right leg, and arch away from the floor into Vashisthasana. Again, you can stack the legs if you'd like. You can also straighten out the left leg and bend your right knee, bringing the right knee down to the ground if that feels better today. Exhale from your right side. So we don't stop exhaling until we feel the ribs pull up and knit in toward the spine. It is a breath that requires our attention, requires our presence. Circle the left arm around and through, bring your left hand down, take your inhale here, high plank, and exhale, chaturanga. Up dog, and down dog. Bring your right hand to the outside of the left shin now. Make sure you're not sinking, first of all, right? It can feel really comfortable to sink, but here's what you want to look for. You don't want to look for, I don't think there's anywhere in any yoga book that says this should be entirely comfortable, right? We want to find a place where we can find comfort in sensation. So if you're not feeling much, you're probably sinking into your joints or asking your connective tissue to support your body weight, which is not the function of those parts of the body. You want to feel muscular energy. Muscles have a lot of feedback ability, right? That's why we feel more when we're in engagement, when we're in integrity, and that's okay. Take a final exhale here. Again, go to empty. Before you take your next in breath, just go a little further. Might not be something that you can see, but something that you definitely feel. Bring your right hand to the floor and drop onto the forearms here. Again, your forearms are parallel with each other. If that is impossible to make happen today, you can take the tripod position instead with the hands clasped together. You can also skip this one or come to the knees and take a puppy pose instead. Please make sure that you're finishing your exhalation, especially in a pose like this where your core is definitely working. You might as well, right? Since we're here anyway, you might as well really make sure it's working. Come back up onto your palms and take a long inhale. One more exhalation. Once you're empty, bend those knees, jump forward or walk forward. Inhale to extend and open up the front of your body even more. Exhale, fold, crown toward the toes. Now stay in this forward fold. Grab the big toes with the first two fingers of both hands. So that, unless that's not happening, right? Unless we're not quite there. But if possible, grab the big toes. Move your weight forward. Make sure you feel your shin bones moving forward while your thigh bones are moving back. Use your arm strength to keep you in a forward fold, in this deep forward fold. Use your core strength to increase the intensity of the forward fold. In other words, don't pull yourself in with your arms. Hold yourself where your abs get you. Take one final exhale. See if you can go further, even if, again, it doesn't look like anything different. Make sure your quads are activated as well, and then extend and open up. Good, moving from here right into B series. We're gonna bend the knees, sweep the arms overhead, and take your Utkatasana. Exhale, dive forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, undulation into a halfway rise. Plant the palms, jump back or walk back. Go right to Chaturanga from here. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up into that three-legged down dog we did a moment ago. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Again, right leg up. And bring it in. And now we're just gonna hold it here. Pushing the right knee into the right elbow, push back through the left heel. Focus on a much longer exhalation. So if we're used to exhaling for like 2 seconds, exhale for 6, right? Really feel how that exhale helps you fire up the right side. Now step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Press your left heel flat, root down. We're gonna rise up here to a warrior two. Opening up. Draw the sit bones directly down, reach your arms out. Make sure this right knee isn't buckling in. You want to feel like your heels are isometrically dragging toward each other, but at the same time, the knees are externally rotating. Find both of those actions. Go ahead, take another deep inhale in warrior two. As you exhale, bring it into extended right angle pose. Bringing your right hand to the floor and your left arm over your left ear. Keep the chest open. Take one more inhale. Good. Exhale, bring your left hand down. Shift all of your movement into your right foot and turn to the left wall so that you're coming all the way down into this side lunge. Flex your left foot. If this is not happening and you want to come off and your heel isn't touching the floor, just keep your heel off the floor. You can bring your sit bone to your right heel. You don't have to worry about this knee. It's not bearing any of your weight. So it is absolutely safe in that position. And again, if your heel is on the floor, same thing. Your weight is moving down into the ground. Hands come to the heart, or you can do the bound position here as well. Flex that left foot And then look at your left shoulder. So even if your hands are on the ground, make sure that the shoulders, both of them, aren't caving in, especially the left shoulder. Open it up. So take 2 breaths here in the side lunge. Send your breath to the back of the pelvis. Send your breath all the way down into the hips themselves. Take a final exhale, draw the sit bones closer to the ground. Good, and then bring both hands to the earth and shift. We're still gonna face the left wall. Shift into a horse stance, right? Or bug pose is what we used to call it in the 90s. Now, it's always been horse. So we're gonna bring the hands up to the thighs in this horse stance or bug pose. Reach your arms up. You're gonna clasp your hands and press the palms away from the crown of your head. Okay, so as the arms reach up, keep the shoulders down. And breathe. Heels are turning in, your knees are opening up. Two more breaths. One final inhale, and remember, you can always keep your hands on your thighs. On the exhale, bring just your left hand down, straighten out your left leg, and move. So the right toes are still pointed forward. Move your left hip as close to the floor as possible. You're gonna feel a pretty nice stretch on that left inner thigh. Nice burning sensation in the right leg. So take one final inhale here in this twist. One more exhale to wring out. But bring your right hand down to the front of your mat. Bring your left hand around and swivel your hips around. Step that right leg back and take your in-breath. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Reach up and back again. Remember, you're lifting out of your joints. Exhale, bring it in. Last time, inhale, left leg rises. Bring that knee in and touch, and then hold. Push your elbow into your knee, push your knee back into that pressure. Make sure you're feeling the left side of your body working. You're not, by the way, allowing the pelvis to drop down. We are not allowing our shoulders to take the weight. Keep pressing elbow into knee, knee into elbow, hugging your left side toward your spine. Then step your left foot to the outside of your left hand, right heel flat, windmill the arms and come up into a warrior two. Traditionally, we look over the left hand. Also, just make sure that your hips aren't, one hip isn't higher than the other. So we do want both of the hip bones on the same line. The spine is sprouting perpendicular to the floor, not leaning forward or back, okay? Both feet are rooting down. Your heels are dragging in isometrically again. The knees are opening away from each other. Find your strong exhalation and make sure that the exhale feels supportive. Good, one final in-breath. Keep that left knee bent. We're gonna bring the left hand to the ground, or you can bring your left forearm to the left thigh, right arm over right ear, extended right angle. This is your opportunity to breathe, right? Your opportunity to actively expand into the right side and actively contract the left side. Bring your right hand to the floor and shift over into that low side lunge here. So now we're coming to the left, lifting the right toes. You can always stay up on your left heel, right? You can sit on the left heel instead of the left foot being all the way on the floor. We're stretching out that left inner thigh and hamstring. If possible, please do the bound position, or even if not, if the bound position doesn't work, left hand down. Your right arm can reach up and back just so we can keep working on That's why I like the bound position, because of the way it opens up the shoulder, right? We can keep working on opening the front of that right shoulder. Good. The right shoulder blade needs to track toward the spine. Notice where you're twisting from. Are you just moving your head and the rest of the spine is doing nothing, right? Or are you starting the twist from your lower back, kind of tucking the left kidney underneath the right, and so on, right? And then you tuck your left ribs under your right ribs. Left shoulder moves forward as the right shoulder moves back. Take a final exhale here, then bring both hands to the floor. Bring your right heel down. Now we are facing the right side of the room with the heels turned in and the toes turned out. Hands come up to the thighs. Now, as long as you don't have ankle issues and you're not pregnant, because when we're pregnant, we have that relaxin moving through us, right? So other than that, you're gonna lift your heels up off the floor. And I call this water skier pose. Your arms are gonna come out, wide V position, and then sit way down, heels up. Sit those hips down. Arms are reaching out. Maintain that flow of breath. Good. Take another deep in breath. Make sure that you're letting your body move a bit here. Exhale the heels down. Bring your right hand down. And then move into, so we're going to drop the right hip. That left knee is going to bend and point to the left. And open it up. The pelvis is low, so our hips aren't high, right? It is so much nicer when the hips are high. But keep moving into the left thigh. Take another in breath. Open the chest more. One more exhale, tuck right ribs under left. Bring your left hand down to the front of your mat, right hand down as well. Step the left leg back and take your in breath. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale back to down dog. Deep breath in and downward facing dog. Send your breath to your back. Strong exhale from the front. Make your breath something that requires your attention, your physical attention and effort, as well as your mental attention and mental effort. Strong exhale here to finish off your pose. Jump forward or walk forward, and then take your in-breath. Exhale, crown to toes. Bend those knees, weight into your heels, rise up for Utkatasana. Exhale, dive forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, extend. Plant your palms, jump back or walk back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Extend your right leg to the sky and take your in-breath. Exhale, bring your knee to your forehead and your forehead to your knee. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, knee to forehead, forehead to knee, round your back. Inhale, right leg will rise. Sorry about that. Exhale, knee comes in. Step your right foot through and press your left heel flat. Root down, rise up for warrior one. Holding warrior one. The poses are not fancy, right? They're very traditional poses. The poses facilitate and encourage breath and encourage this idea of circulation of prana to all parts. So while you're here, just feeling into that. Take a deep inhale in warrior one. Exhale, both hands come down. Transfer your weight onto your right foot. Lift your left leg up for standing split. Reach your crown towards your toes. Right hand behind right Achilles tendon, elbow behind the knee. Your ribs are moving towards your right thigh. Please allow your body to move instead of holding so rigidly, letting all of the little muscles that help us stay upright, right? That help right us and center us. Let those get their workout as well. Now bend your left knee, reach around and just take a hold or reach back with your right hand. Take a hold of the top of your left foot, or don't, right? Just point your fingers at your toes if you can't quite get there. You can even just hold on to your big toe here. Okay, we're gonna stay in a forward fold for a moment. So going back into that forward fold, your crown is drawing towards your right toes and your right quads are strong, by the way. Your left knee moves up and back. Feel the stretch on your left quadriceps. Now, are there easier ways to stretch the quads? Of course. But this is a level 2 class, so we're going to make it more challenging to stretch those quads. Let's take a final exhale here and step your left leg all the way back. Step your right leg back to meet your left leg and take a deep inhale. Exhale to chaturanga. Up dog on the inhale. Remember, you can always move through your vinyasa in the way that makes more sense to your body. If this doesn't make sense at this point, inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, bring the knee to the forehead and the forehead to the knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it in. Last time, extending. And bring it in. Hold here for one breath. Step the left foot through and press your right heel flat. Root down, rise up, warrior one. Using the pose to encourage breath, which encourages calmness. So instead of trying to find acrobatics, right, find the depth of this posture, the meaning of this, the reason people have been doing a warrior one for thousands of years, right? Take a final exhale. Grow a bit taller on this next in-breath. Exhale, both hands down, transfer onto left foot, and float the right leg up for standing splits. As you reach up with your right leg, the crown is drawing down. It's like because the right leg is lifting, your crown can draw down further. We're not pulling with our neck though, we're just letting the head weigh heavy. We are engaging with an active exhalation. Make sure those quads, the left quads are strong. Your right hamstrings and glutes are fired and turned on there. Now bend the right knee. You can extend the spine to come into that. So grab the top of your foot or just the big toe, or just point your fingers at your toes. Draw the crown back down as you move into your forward fold again. This is a quad stretch for your right leg. Notice how we want to stop breathing when we're standing on one leg, or how we forget to breathe because we're standing on one leg. Remember the importance of the breath today. Keep deciding to come back to that. One more exhale. Bring the ribs in, closer to the thigh. Bring the forehead closer to the shin as a result. Then bring your left hand down, step your right leg all the way back. Left leg steps back. Inhale, high push-up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale to down dog. Slow the breath down even more. Each exhalation is a reconnection, a re-plugging in. Each inhale is another opportunity to experience lightness, buoyancy, floating. Final exhale here, dive a bit deeper. Jump your feet forward or walk forward, inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees, weight into the heels, rise up, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, extend. Plant the palms, jump back, exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift the right leg on your in-breath. Exhale, right knee comes underneath you to touch your left elbow. Right leg will rise. Bring it back in. Both arms are hugging in toward midline, just like we do when we're in dolphin pose. And last time. Bring it in, bring that right leg up. This time you're going to slide your right, or step your right foot rather, through your hands. Keep your back heel off the floor. Take an inhale and rise up to a lunge position here. Again, another very traditional pose, nothing exciting about it. Take your hands back behind you and draw the knuckles toward the ground. Now, step your left foot in just a little bit closer, bend your left knee. Excuse me. Contract your left glutes and move the left hip bone toward the front of the room by dialing your right hip bone back. Please don't do this if you can't feel your glutes firing up. If the glutes aren't working, your knee will take this. Begin to lean back if you'd like to and draw the knuckles down as the heart rises. Going to take one final exhale. Nice. Now press your left heel flat. Keep your hands clasped. Dive between your legs for humble warrior. And remember that all of these simple poses are designed to let us be with our breath, to not overwhelm us with details, right? So how does this pose, this particular pose, facilitate breath, and where are you able to breathe? Take a final exhale here in humble warrior and bring both hands down to the mat. Straighten out both legs and turn your right toes toward the left wall. Make sure that your heels are lined up with each other. Inhale and extend. Exhale, hands come down underneath your shoulders, shoulder distance apart, and your crown draws into the earth. If your head is easily coming down, bring your feet closer together. Right, so I want you to feel like you have to reach and elongate your neck in order to touch the crown to the floor. Now, if you go into that forward fold and it feels like you are a mile away from the floor, don't worry about touching the floor, but take your feet out a little wider for sure. And then root down as though there were a floor underneath your crown, right? You're still reaching for it. If you do have a yoga block, it would be a nice time to put a yoga block underneath your crown. Push the crown into the floor or into that imaginary floor so that you can feel how you're tractioning out your neck here, not sinking your weight into your head at all, but simply reaching for the crown, reaching for the earth with your crown. Take a final exhale here. Inhale to extend. Good. Keep your left hand underneath your sternum. We're going to drop the left hip today, just like we did in the previous one when we had that knee bent. Bring your right arm up. This time, bend your right elbow, reach around and grab your left inner thigh with your right hand. And we are dropping that hip on purpose. All 10 toes point toward the left wall here. Open up the chest and breathe. Strong exhale to tuck left kidney under right even more. Left ribs under right. Left shoulder blade under right. Turn your chin so that your gaze is up at the ceiling. Again, we're feeling that nice stretch on the inner thigh. We've been going there again and again today. One final exhale. Release both hands to the ground and then swivel everything forward. Go into a low lunge here before we take that whole series on this other side. So start with both hands on the floor. Check in with your breath. Another thing that being present with breath, another benefit of being present with breath is that you'll notice when you start to spin out because your breath changes, right? So just notice, can you breathe deeply? Can you breathe freely? Do you feel this at all? If you don't feel it really, come onto the left forearm first. And then if you feel like you could go a little further, come onto the right forearm too, parallel with each other. Engage those glutes, engage your hamstrings, move the thigh bone down toward the ground without letting the pelvis drop down. Two more breaths. Soften your neck, unclench your jaw and your teeth. Now staying on your forearms, so if you're not on your forearms yet, come down to your forearms, step your right leg back and move into a plank pose on the forearm. And just like we were in dolphin, you want to make sure that your forearms are parallel with each other. If this is too much at any point, bring your knees to the ground. If it's not quite enough, bend your knees without your knees touching the ground. Make sure you don't change the way you've placed your pelvis in space. Two more breaths. One final exhale in plank pose on the forearms. Tilt the pelvis up and walk your toes in, and we're back into dolphin pose. So take a final exhale in dolphin. Come up onto your palms, inhale, and exhale to a deeper downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg comes up. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. One more time, inhale, lift. Bring it back in. Really touch the two together. Extend the left leg back up to the sky one more time to step it through your hands. Keep your back heel off the floor and come up into a lunge. Reaching the arms overhead. And clasp your hands behind you, interlace your fingers and draw the knuckles down. Open the chest. Go as far as you'd like to in this pose. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you start to bring your knuckles all the way down to the crease of your right knee. That's too much for me, so I'm not going to go there. But just go to where you can go safely. Go to where you can go with the intention being that I'm going to open myself up to the possibility of more breath flowing freely through my body. I'm going to use this pose to make sure that happens. Good. Press that right heel flat. Make sure the heels are on the same line and move into humble warrior. Crown toward the ground, knuckles toward the sky. Notice that your neck is going to want to hold the head up here. Please allow your head to weigh heavy. Two more breaths. Good, last time, take a strong exhale. Release both hands and turn all 10 toes now toward, I believe it is going to be the right side of the room. Inhale and extend. Exhale, fold. This time, bring your hands to your hips. Take your the first two fingers of your hand. You're going to reach inside. You're going to feel these ropey little muscles, and make sure that they retract as you fold forward. You're going to dig in there. They're pulling back to help you tilt the pelvis down and pour your spine out of your pelvis. Let the elbows open here and let the fronts of the shoulders open as well. So we're lifting the elbows and broadening across the chest. Your upper back is activated, not pinching or anything, but just active. And again, if your crown is easily touching the floor, bring your feet in closer together. One more exhale. Good, extend the spine, bring your right hand down, drop your right hip on purpose today. All 10 toes are still pointing toward the I don't know, one side of the room. I can't figure it out. Bring your left arm up and open up. Keep turning myself around all the time. I think it's your right side. Bend your left elbow, reach around and grab that right inner thigh and open. We're allowing our spine to breathe with us. So the inhale inflates the space between the vertebrae themselves. Imagine that those little intervertebral discs are inflatable. As you inhale and inflate them, we create more space, we decompress. As you exhale, we're not recompressing, we're simply wringing out to open up. Staying open, staying long, but also cleaning and wringing out that excess. Take one final exhale here. Great job, good. Bring both hands back down. Swivel all 10 toes toward the front. Come into your low lunge again. Start with both hands to the right side of your left foot. Walk your left foot out to the left. Feel this, check in with this. Come onto the right forearm first. If you still feel like you can go a bit further, come onto the left forearm. Again, if you have a yoga block, put a block underneath the forearm. That's a great way to progress in this pose. And then check in. It doesn't matter how long we've been doing yoga. If we don't check in with our neck in this one, or in a lot of hip openers, our jaw and our teeth, we'll notice that our neck, our jaw, and our teeth are all clenched up. So check in, soften. And rather than trying to let your teeth support you here, let your exhale and your inhale support you instead. Feel this as a deep stretch, but also a time where we get to feel stabilized and feel like we're working the muscles of stabilization. And pushing down through both forearms. So if you're not on your forearms, come down to the forearms and step your left foot back. Now we're in plank on the forearms. The most supportive thing you can do here is to keep your attention on your breath. Keep attending to the breath. One final exhale, come all the way down onto the belly this time. Walk your elbows forward and we'll go into Sphinx pose instead of another dolphin. So elbows are forward of the shoulders. Your forearms are pushing down, you're clawing the floor with your fingertips. And it really does make a big difference if you can put those fingers down, pull forward, like the ribs are telescoping out of the pelvis or forward from the pelvis. Meanwhile, this is the most important part of this. Meanwhile, the sit bones aren't tilted up. Pull them back. We're not tucking under, but we are pulling the top of the back of the pelvis away from the front, away from the lower ribs, as the front ribs flare forward and telescope forward. We're creating space in our bodies with our breath and with our awareness. So pubic bone down, hip bones are off the floor here. You can come up onto your palms if you'd like. If that causes you to pinch up your back, stay on your forearms. But once you have those legs anchored, you should be able to do this without any pressure on your back. Good, now do one more thing. We're gonna bend that left knee and bring the left heel toward left sit bone. If you're on your forearms, you can do the same thing. Bend the right knee, bring the right heel to right sit bone. Let your knees open wider than your hips. Okay, so this is Ashtanga's version of frog pose. Heels in, or a little variation, not quite the whole thing. But this gives you a really, at least for me, it gives me a really tremendous stretch on the abdomen, on the abdominal wall. It's a really nice way to access your internal organs and breathe into your internal organs. Meanwhile, you're pushing your thigh bones into the floor. Pubic bone down, hip bones up, sit bones back. You should feel absolutely no pinching in your lower back. If you do, come onto the forearms, and if you still do, just skip the pose. So go ahead and release out of that. Walk your hands back. So bring your forehead all the way down to the ground for a moment. That's a really big workout for your back muscles. Okay, so tomorrow you will feel that your back muscles have gotten a good workout. We just don't want to pinch up the spine. We're going to come up onto the hands and the knees now, take an in-breath, and do a few cat-cows. Exhaling to round, and inhale to extend. Exhale, round. Extend on inhale. Moving slowly. Last time, we're going to round here and round the back strongly. So use the, again, supportive strength of the exhale. And then walk your hands towards your knees. We're going to roll over onto the pads of the toes and then through the arches of the feet to the heels. The back stays rounded here. Excuse me. Then take your hands down, shins down, and arch your back again. That's level one. Exhale, roll back, hands come back toward knees and heels are down. Good. Level two is we bring the hands very far forward. We don't let the shins touch the floor and we work into an extended spine with the shins hovering. Then exhale, this would be just adding on forehead to knees, knees to forehead. Before we come all the way back into our low squat, that'd be kind of a level 2.5. Hands as far forward as possible. Shins are hovering. They can always touch. Exhale, forehead to knee, knee to forehead. Before you walk your hands in and roll into that rounded back malasana. We're going to do just one more of those. See if you can reach your hands even further forward. This is, again, just functional strength. Exhale, forehead to knees, knees to forehead. Walk your hands back and bring your heels down. Once you're there, sit all the way down onto your glutes, extend your legs forward, and slide into the middle of your mat. Reach your arms up, keep those knees bent. Exhale, roll slowly down to the ground. And after rolling onto the earth, reach the arms overhead, take an inhale. Pull yourself apart into equal and opposite directions. Good, and then exhale, sweep the arms down, bring the knees up simultaneously, and rock across your spine. Still using your breath to support even this movement. Take your arms out and keep the movement going. Slow down this simple movement so that we match the rhythm of the breath. Inhale up, exhale to one side. And while your knees are pointing to one side, your head turns in the opposite direction. Inhale, knees back up. Exhale, knees to one side and turn your head in the opposite direction. And now we'll go into it and hold. So as you finish this round, make sure you've evenly moved on both sides. Take it to the right or to the left, it doesn't matter which. Open up the chest. Turn your head in the opposite direction and now just hold it. Breathe into this nice, easy twist. Even here and even now, your exhale is supporting your twist, taking you deeper. Even here and even now, especially even here and even now, we are focusing on the breath. What tends to happen, right, is that I don't know if you guys are football fans, but for the first 3 quarters, we're playing well. This is how the Raiders play. First 3 quarters, first quarter, they're getting used to it. So let's say the 2 quarters, they're playing really well. The last quarter, they just bag out, right? Because I don't know why. I don't know. I know why we do it in yoga, because we think it's the end and like we start to prepare our mind for what happens next, right? So this isn't over. This is your challenge. Even though this seems like a very simple posture, the challenge is to stay present anyway with this simplicity. Let's bring the knees back up, bring them over to the other side, whichever side you haven't done yet. We're going to hold the twist for a while, breathe into it and feel it. Notice when the mind wanders away from it and decide to come back and play that 4th quarter. Use your supine twist as your challenge. Good. Take one final full round of breath. And remember that on this last exhale, we have this opportunity to uncover maybe a little more freedom. Look for it, expect to find it, and bring your arms out to either side, bring your knees back up, rock across the spine a few times again. Extend those legs to the ceiling over your pelvis. And on a long exhale, with both legs at the same time if possible, or one leg at a time, extend your legs forward, using that core strength eccentrically now to slow down, right? And then once those heels land, just shake out your torso, shake any last stuff into the ground, and please rest. Pull the shoulders down away from your ears a little bit more, open up the chest a bit more, let the legs open out of the hip sockets a bit more, and give yourself this gift, the gift of presence. Practicing presence, even when it seems like, right, that there's not a lot we can pay attention to. Look for the subtleties, listen to the sounds within the body, look for movement within the body. The outer body is still. Listen and feel for what's happening internally and intrinsically. And let that hold your attention for just a few more moments. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Namaste.